Hi, my name is Ryan, and you're watching my YouTube series on functional programming. In this episode, we're going to talk about the map function. And this is one of the early episodes, and I want to talk about the map function first before we dive into other concepts because you're going to use this function a lot, and it is also something that is familiar or partially familiar. Although you have to think about it differently when you approach it from a functional programming perspective. The other important concept is that we generally talk about in functional programming is that of a container, and containers use the map function extensively. So it is very important to understand what a map is. So when you generally think about a map, right, you think about a hash. So there's a hash here, and you have the value x, and let's say it's 10, and you have the value y, and it says 20. Right, this is what you think when you think of a map. But there's also another definition for map in arrays. So you have number 1 and 2, and then you do a map, and then you write a transformer function, which let's say it takes the value and multiplies it by 2. So you have this transformer function which takes these values and returns another array, which is of course 2 and 4, right? So you might think that these things are different, and well, programmatically they are, but conceptually they're not. Because if you think about it, this this whole line can be written as 1 to 2 and 2 to 4, right? The only difference between lines 1 to 4 and lines 8 to 11 are that you did not statically create this map. This is programmatic, this is dynamic. And what you did was you were able to code the logic that transforms the key to the value, right? So in this case, the value depends on the key. So it's slightly different because there's a one-to-one mapping, and the value is a derivative of the key, which may or may not be true all the time, but in this case it is. But over here, you can always have like something completely arbitrary. You can have A, B, C, and it's still a map, right? Whereas here you have to have something, a function that uses or can use the key and give you a value in return. So this makes a huge difference when you write function programming, because now you know what a map is. A map is not just uh, a hash. It means you're taking values and transforming values to produce a corresponding value. And I'm going to leave it at that, and we're going to dive into this a lot more in the future videos.